In this session we will discuss about organizing files from the module 4 of the subject code BPLCK105B 205B. So in this session we will be discussing only about the first part of module 4, that is organizing files. We'll be discussing about shutil module, how to walk through a directory tree. We'll see about compressing the files with zip file modules. So first of all, for this entire section of organizing files, it's very important that you import the shutil module. So in order to, because in the shutil module it provides functions or shell utilities for copying files, moving files or folders, renaming files, deleting files in the programs. So the first line of code when you're working with the files is import shutil, where that means we are going to import the shutil module. So let's understand how we can copy files and folders. See, we are already familiar, right, where we actually copy files and folders manually in the system, right? So if I want to copy the folders manually in my system, so let's say like this, I'll just go to a folder. What we do is just copy paste, right? So suppose you go to a folder like this, you want to copy a folder, you just say copy paste. But the same thing if you have to do it using the Python program. Let's see how we can do. There are two functions for this. Shutil module provides two functions. One is called as shutil.copy source comma destination, and the other one is shutil.copyTree. Now what's the difference between these two is shutil.copy, it will copy the file from the path which is mentioned in the source to the path mentioned in the destination. So this is only copying a file. Whereas the other function, shutil.copyTree, will copy an entire folder and every file under that folder from the source to the destination. Okay, so the main difference is shutil.copy will copy the file and shutil.copyTree will copy the entire folder and all the files under that folder. So let's first see shutil.copy source comma destination. So source and destination, they can be a path, it can be a string, or it can be a path object. So let's see in the Python in Emud editor how this works. So as I told you, first import shutil module. You also need OS module. And after that I am importing, I'm using this line from pathlib import path. Now why we have done this is, when I say path.home, it will give us the path where I actually am having these code as well as all the folders where I am basically working at. After that, so these three lines of code you will commonly see in this entire video, where we will be importing shutil OS. We will always be working in a path which is mentioned, which is from pathlib. And what is that path? If you want to see what is a path, just give print p, you can visualize that path. You can see what is a path name in the command, in the output. Now coming to the first part, shutil.copy. As I told you, shutil.copy will copy a file. So this is the source, and the first one would be the source, the second one would be the destination. Okay, so what am I saying is, in the path p, right, from the path p, I want to copy a file called result.txt into, you can give another path or you can give the same path. In this case I've given the same path, but I'm given a different folder called as demo_backup. So what happens here, see, when I execute this, it's giving a name, it doesn't exist. So let's see what is the path first. See, what is print path? The path here is C users. This is what is printed. Okay, so print p is giving us this output. So this is my path. So just go and see what exactly, and it is saying that it's very important that you learn to debug the program. So learn to identify the errors and how to debug. So what it is saying is, there's no file like this. So go here, is there no file like that? Yes, it's not there. I have given the name as sample.txt. So just change it to sample.txt. So first line is import the modules from pathlib import path.home, and what is the path.home? That you can see in P, and that is nothing but, in this case, C uses Vaani V. So under this I am having all my folders. I am working under this path. So now under this path I have a file called, under C uses Vaani, I have a file called as sample. Do I have it? Yes, I have it here, right? So that I'm going to copy into P under P, I'm going to copy it into a folder called as demo underscore backup. So that means here, demo underscore backup, I have a folder here where I'm going to copy sample. See, there is no file. Let's delete this. There is no file here. This is completely empty. It should be copied. So when I execute this program, okay, now again it's giving an error. Okay, I think the folder name is already it exists. Okay, now it's because of this. Okay, now execute. See, now it's working. So basically what happened here is, see, shuttle.copy will copy the sample.txt file from the path P into a folder called as demo underscore backup. So if you go now under C users Vaani V, I have a file called as sample. Now this should be copied into a folder called as demo underscore backup. Where is demo underscore backup? It's here. Where is demo underscore backup? Yes, it's here. Now earlier under this folder it was empty. Now you can see sample is copied. Okay, now one more line I have put here. The same thing. What I have said is I am now going to copy sample.txt, but I am giving another name to it. Okay, so what I have done is I have copied the same file, but I have renamed it to sample2.txt. That's why you can see two files here in demo underscore backup, which was initially empty. Now coming to the next function, copy tree. As I already told you, copy tree will copy the entire folder. So I'm copying entire folder demo to an other folder demo underscore backup to. So let's go and see. Right? What we will do is we will delete this. Right? I will delete everything under this. Or let's give another name. Let me say I'll give as 3. And when I execute this program, now you can see that there should be a folder called as demo underscore backup 3 created. See, earlier it was not there. Now it is created. Now under that, it has copied all the contents of what was there in demo inside into this. So just to recollect, there are two functions, copy and copy tree. Copy will copy a file to another file. Okay, and copy tree will copy the entire folder, entire contents. If suppose a folder name does not exist, like I already just shown you, then it will create the folder and copy. Now suppose this folder is now created, and if I run again, let's see what happens. What is it saying? It is saying that the file already exists, right? Because it is already created, it is saying it is already exists. So that's all simple. Now coming to the so that was about copying files in folders using the shuttle.copy and shuttle.copyTree function. Now let's go into the next one, moving and renaming files in folders. So suppose I want to move a file from a particular path to another path. Then what is the function name? Shuttle.move. I give source comma destination. Okay. So now let's go to the program and see how it works. Shuttle.move. Okay, now this is a very simple program. I have said import shuttle and shuttle.move. There are two arguments which I am giving. The first argument is basically the source. The second one is basically the destination. So what I am saying, under this path, I want to copy result.txt into an other path. So let's see that. See, under C users Vaani with result.txt. Just check whether it exists or not. Result is there or not. Let's just check. It's not there. Let me give the name as sample. Okay. First ensure that the file exists. So there is a file like this. Now under demo underscore backup 1, there is no file called as sample, right? So there's a sample 2, but there's no file called as sample. So let's see whether this works. So it's very simple. You are moving a file from this path to another one. It will not delete this. You're just moving it. Okay. So now when I execute this, see, I did not get any error or anything because I didn't give any print commands. But we have to go and observe in the folders. Okay. Now, what did I say? From C users Vaani sample.txt. So C users Vaani V sample. Yes. Is there a file here by the name sample? Nothing, right? So that means it is moved. It is like cut paste. It is not copy paste. It is cut paste. So from here sample.txt, it has been moved to demo underscore backup 1. So now if we go here, sample demo underscore backup 1. There is a file here. No, it's not there. Let's cross check what happened then. Let's do this again. demo underscore backup 1. Let's say result.txt is the file I'll keep here. Okay, I'll keep a file called as result.txt here, which I want to move it to demo underscore backup 1. Okay, let me delete this. Let me delete all these texts. Okay, and also this. Okay, now let's execute this. Yes, see, it has moved, right? So the earlier, see, I'll delete this. Under demo underscore backup 1, there's nothing. If I run this, it will give you an error because where I moved it, so it was cut paste, so now it's actually gone. So I should use another one. Let's say I have something called as sample.txt. I hope you understood this. This is a cut paste, so that's why it's giving you an error. Now let me move sample.txt. See, it has moved. And now if I go and observe demo underscore backup 1, right, it should have been copied. Okay, I have to change this here. That's why it was not working. No such file or directory in sample.txt. Okay, it has got moved already. Let's do it again. See, you should be very careful. As you work only, you will understand. That's why you should work on your system, because when you're working, you will understand and you will like working on it then. See, result is now not there, and if you go to demo underscore backup 1, now result is here. So basically this is like a cut paste. Okay, shuttle.move looks like a cut paste. Okay, so these are the details. You can just go through, and this is a very simple code. Now coming to the next part, permanently deleting a file. So suppose you want to delete a file, right? There are three kinds of functions. If I say os.unlink path, it will delete the file at the path which is mentioned. Okay, if I say os.rmdir, it will delete the folder at the path, and this folder must be empty of any files or folders. That you have to note. Shuttle.rmtree path, this will remove the folder at the path. It will basically remove the folder which is specified in the path, and all the files and folders it contains will also be deleted. So there is a difference between rmdir and rmtree. rmdir, basically it will only delete the directory or the folder. rmtree will remove the entire tree. Whatever is there in that part, under that files, folders, everything will be removed. But be very careful when you are using these functions, because you might automatically or by accident you may remove files which you did not intend to. So you have to be very careful. So let's look into the mu editor. See, how do we delete the files? I am just giving a demo of unlink. So as I told you, what does unlink do? It will delete the file at the path. So I'm going to delete a particular file at the path. So how do you do it? Import OS, and as I already told you, import the path, and this is the path. So basically my path here, path.home, would be my home directory, that is C uses Vaani. So under that, what I'm doing is I'm giving a for loop. I'm asking it to browse through the entire loop, through the entire contents of that path, and look for all the file names which are the extension .txt. So basically I'm looking for .txt files, and before and you can see, observe here, I have commented unlink. So why unlink? What will it do? It will delete the file, right? Particular file which I'm giving here. I don't want to delete anything without my knowledge or by mistake. So that's why before delete anything, you just try to give a print. First see which file name, and then you can uncomment this. Okay, now coming to the folder, path.home basically would be my this C uses Vaani. So under this, do I have any text files? First let me look into it. I don't have. So let's see how it will give, what kind of information. See, it's just giving me the path. It did not print any file name, because actually under this path I don't have any text files, right? So let me just put two text files. There's one here. Okay, so in this path let me give one more. Okay, so I have two text files here under this path. So when I execute this program, it should just display. I am not going to delete because I have commented this unlink. So when you execute this, see here under C uses Vaani, I have two text files which I just created. Now if I want to delete it, what I'll do is I'll just uncomment this. Why I did this is so that before deleting, you just see which files you are going to delete. See, now it should be deleted. Go back to your folder and see whether it is deleted. Yes, see, there is no text file. Okay, very simple. So basically, if you want to delete a file, these are the different functions, but be careful while using it. That's why I'm giving a print command, first checking and then I'm deleting. Now coming to save deletes. Now the problem with the previous one is once you delete, it's gone. It's basically like doing shift delete. It doesn't, when you say delete, it doesn't go to the recycle bin, it's shift delete. Now you don't want to do that. I just want to do a simple delete. Then you can use where after deleting I should still have the file in the recycle bin. So in that case, this is the safer delete, right? So when you are using delete function, you should be very careful. You should not just delete anything which is irreversible, you cannot get it back. That can be dangerous. So it's always suggested that if you want, you use this method, shutil.rm_tree function, where in the send to trash module, where actually it will send to trash module is a safer way to delete, because it will only delete and put it into a recycle bin. So how does it work is, let's go to the mu editor. Okay, so send to trash, how does it work is, first import the send to trash module and then you just tell that, okay, this is the file I want to open. So I suppose I want to open result.txt, and that I'm going to keep in this file called as bacon file. Then I want to delete it. So what am I saying is send to trash dot send to trash result.txt. That's all, simple. Right, the code is very simple. Send to trash dot send to trash and give the file name which you want to delete. It can be a path, it can be a file name. If you just give file name, so that means under that current directory it will look for this file and it will delete. Now in my case it was not going to work because I don't have this module called as send to trash in my system. So what you have to do is, if you want to use send to trash, then what you have to do is you have to install this module first. How do you install? Pip install space -- user send to trash. This you can do your Anaconda terminal. How to install Anaconda terminal has already been mentioned in the second video of this entire module. So if you install this module, then it's going to work. Okay, so basically this is a safer way of deleting. Now coming to the next concept, see, suppose if I want to walk through a tree, right? So something like this, I have a directory structure here. See, under that I have one more folder, another one more folder, one more file. See, I can do it easily in my system, but if you want to do in your Python code, then how do you do it, right? So let's go into the editor, mu editor. So for that you have a concept called as walk tree. Okay, in shutil module you have this concept, we call it as a walk tree. If I want to walk through the tree, then how do I do it is, first import the OS module, and under OS module you have a function called as walk. So os.walk, and there as an argument you give the path where you want to walk through. So suppose in my case, under C folder, if I go to my system, under C folder I have a folder called as certificates. Okay, now under that I have two more folders and some files. So if I want to walk through that, then how do you do is os.walk, give the name of the path where do you want to walk through, and this I'm putting into a for loop because there are many files right under this folder, so put it in a loop. And this function is returning so many things. It returns the folder name, the first parent folder, and under that whichever subfolders are there, and under that whichever file names are there. So basically this function will be returning three things: the parent folder, under that subfolders, and under that all the file names. Suppose I just want to see the subfolders. See, already it is there in subfolder. Suppose subfolders is there, then that would be given into subfolder and given. Okay, now suppose, and which are the file names. So let me create some subfolders, otherwise it will not work. So I said C, under that I am in the folder called as certificates. Let me create some more subfolders. Okay, let me create some folders. Test 1, and under that let me create one more. Let's see how it does the walkthrough. See, I have so many subfolders created, right? I have C. Under certificates I have two subfolders. Under that, one of the subfolders is having some more subfolders under it. So let's execute the program and see how it works. Okay, so basically os.walk should return the folder name, all the subfolders under it, and on all the file names. And if I want to browse through the subfolders, again I put it in a loop. Subfolders will be having subfolders under the folder name. So again I'm looping through to see if there are any subfolders under it. If it is under this subfolders one more subfolder is there, then it will work. Otherwise it will not print. It will not give any error. It will not print that sort. And we are also browsing through all the file names. So let's execute this. See, I'm getting the output without any errors. What is it saying here is the current folder is C certificates. That is because of this one, right? So folder name is having this folder C underscore certificates. Now under that I gave one more for loop, right? Subfolders, because under certificates I am having some more subfolders, right? So what are those? Just go through this. See, under certificates I have cert2 and certificate 2. So do I have it? Sorry. Yes, under certificates I am cert2 and certificate 2. And again under certificate 1 I had two more folders, certificate test 1, and under test 1 I had test 2. See, it has browsed through all the subfolders, right? So basically we have been able to browse through all the subfolders and all the file names under this tree structure. So how was it done? By using the os.walk function and by putting it through a for loop like this. Okay, so that was about walking a directory tree. So as I said, os.function will return three values which I showed you here, right? Folder name, subfolders, and file names. So basically it returns the folder names, subfolders, and file names. And this is the output that we got in our case. Now coming to the next concept, you might all have worked with zip files, right? You might have extracted, you might have zipped your files using the .zip function. So let's see how we can do this. Let's first see reading the zip files. So basically we already have a zip file in our system. Let's see how we can read the contents of that zip file. Okay, so read the zip file. So now what I have done here is under my folder C users, right? Under C, under users, under Vaani, I have created some zip files, right? I have a zip file called new and also one more demo underscore backup one. Now what I want to do is I want to read the contents of this. So in order to read the contents of this, what you have to do is first you have to use import the zip file module. Right, and under zip file, remember Z and F is small letter here. Under that I have a function called as zip file again, where Z and F is capital. So this you have to note. The module name is all small letters. Under that module one more function is there, the same name, but Z and F is capital. This you have to remember. Okay, so under the module I am calling this function, and there I am giving a path of my zip file. So I have already created this zip file, and that I'm storing in example zip. And example zip.namelist, if I give, it is going to generate all the names, all the files under this zip file. And apart from that, I can get more information about the files, like I can get the file size, I can see what happens after compression, what was, right? So basically I can do a comparison. What was the size of the file before the compression and what it is after the compression. So let's execute this. Okay, see, as I've told you, under this I am actually trying to read information about this zip file, and under that if you see there are some files under it. Okay, so let's execute this. So what is it saying? That it is printing the names of all the files. If I want to print the names of all the files, what do? It is in the example zip. Under that, if I give a function called as name list, see, you can see all the files and which are there under this zip file. And if I want to get more information about it, then you have to use a function getinfo. So file size in this case, it is giving this much, 376425. And it is also giving you the compressed size. So this is a file size, this is a size after compression. And suppose you want to do a comparison, how much comparison or compression has happened, you just do a division, right? Divide the file size with the compressed size, right? And you will basically get a compression ratio here. So compressed file is, I have used string concatenation here. Compressed file is, this is a string and this is a math I am doing, right? File size divided by compressed file and rounded off to 2 digits. That's why I'm doing this. How do you doing rounding off? Using the round function. And finally I'm saying that many times smaller. So basically this is also a string. So I'm doing a string concatenation here. This is a string, the last part is also a string, and this is the math I have done to do the calculation, which I am rounding off to 2 digits using the round function, and I'm enclosing it within str. Basically it's a typecasting, because if I have to merge a string with an integer, it's not possible. You have to make everything as a string. And here plus is acting like a string concatenation operator, and this is the output you get. Okay, so basically this was about, you already have a zip file and you are going to read the contents of it. So how do you do? Import the zip file module. Under zip file module you call the function zip file, and under that you give the path. If you want to see all the contents of the zip file, namelist is a function. If you want to get more information like size and everything, you have to call the function getinfo. And once you put it into a parameter like this, under that you call dot file size and dot compress size. So you'll get the information. So that was about reading the contents of a zip file. Now suppose I want to extract, right? How do we do extraction? You do right click here and then you extract, right? This is what you do. Now I don't want to do it manually, I want to do it from a system. So for this I will do demo backup 1. So I've already extracted, let me delete it. Okay, so how do you extract? Very easy again. Coming to the mu editor, to extract a zip file, what you have to do is same thing. Okay, call the zip file module, under that you call zip file function, and under that you just give the name of the file. Now example zip is going to contain information about my zip file. What you have to do? Very simple, just one function, extract all. Once I do this, all the contents will be extracted. Execute this. See, I did not get any error and no print, no messages, because I didn't give any print information. So if you come back, you should be see that, see, I extracted demo underscore backup 1. Can you see it? See, this is my zip file and demo underscore backup 1 should be there here. I have extracted demo, right? Demo underscore backup 1. Okay, under that let's see what's the name. Under that the name is demo backup 1, right? So let's try to do with demo backup or new. Let's try to do with new. So the file actually should be extracted. So I have to look into this, why it's. So let's try to give a print information. None. So basically it is giving an information none, so that means it is not extracted. So this we have to see. So basically just to extract, the command is dot extract all. Now coming to creating and adding zip files. So if you want to create your own zip file, right, and add information to it, so how you can do it is, so let's go create and add. So let's say I want to create a zip file. So let me give the name as new one. Okay, and into that I want to put the information result.txt into it, right? I want to put result.txt. I hope it is there here in the folder, result.txt. If we don't have, then we have to just keep it here. Let's say in my home directory I will keep a file called as result.txt. So this is my home directory, I'm working on result.txt, and this text I want to create a zip file here, and this result.txt should be part of the zip file. So how do you do it is, again same thing, zipfile.zipfile function, give the name of the file that you want to create, and you say write mode. So basically write mode means I'm going to write contents into this file. Now how do you write? Again new zip.write, this file I'm going to put into it. Please mention the compression type as zipfile.zip deflated and close it. So now when you execute this, you should have a file here called as new one. See, it's there. A zip file is created, and if you open it, you should have result.txt under it. Okay, so did you note that this text zip file was not there previously? It is now created. So basically this is for creating a zip file and adding contents to your zip file. So the function is very simple. Zip file, under that zip file function, just give the path name, give the mode as write, and if you want to put files into it, just write new zip.write, give the name of the file, give the compression type. That's it. So that was all about today's session. We have seen all about organizing the working with files, how we can create files, move files, delete files, and we also saw how we can extract files. In the next session we will see about debugging, which is part 2 of the module 4. Thank you.